Today's video, it was probably the most fun I've ever had preparing for a video because we're about to see the top 5 en passant uses of all time. It's pretty fun whenever you get to play this, but to win the game by playing it, well, we have to take a look. Okay, number 5, we're going to start out a little bit easy. In this position, black is totally winning, and black played queen e1, threatening the rather normal pedestrian. Rook takes f2 mate, and white decided to try to stop it. By the way, there is no way to stop it, really, but white decided to play the move f4, which kind of seems like it stops it, except both pawns can take en passant, but only one of them is mate. E takes f3 en passant. The f4 pawn magically gets dissolved from the board. Actually, it's not magic. It is en passant. It is mate. I've never gotten to play en passant mate in my entire life. Okay, and on we go to my 4th favorite en passant of all time. In this position, the white queen is bearing down on the king, and any knight move would be discovered check. So black plays f5, and you're thinking, okay, I know what's coming next. We're going to play en passant, but actually no, that's not what white does. It's a fake en passant. White plays h5 check, and the king only has one legal move. Then knight takes e6, which is a different discovered check. Who saw that coming? And now when black played g5, h takes g6 is discovered check en passant mate. I literally have no idea how you even write that down on your notation sheet. If it was played online, well, we would do it for you. Okay, that was a fun one. Now we move on to my 3rd favorite en passant of all time. Checking in at number 3. We have this game, which was actually just played a couple of years ago at the British Championship. And black is actually holding his own against a grandmaster, but then black goes pawn grabbing with rook takes a4. Uh-oh, that's a no-no. White plays a really cool idea. White clamps the king shut, a little bear trap, rook on e to f8, and by squeezing the king, now the rook on h is going to go to g8 and give mate. There's not much black can do about it. And if black tries h6, then g takes h6 is just mate. And the only other try for black is to go 2 squares, but I'm going to sound like a broken record. G takes h6, en passant is still mate. It isn't beautiful how the rooks and the pawns all team up against the king? Well, it's beautiful for everybody except for the person who played black against a grandmaster. Okay, checking in here, my number 2 favorite en passant of all time. I'm actually going to show you the build-up, because the build-up to the en passant is actually part of the cool part here, okay? Now, white is a very strong grandmaster, Grandmaster Jan Ludwig Hammer. Guess who he's playing? His countryman, Magnus Carlsen. Sorry, Magnus, hopefully you're not watching my channel. Actually, are you watching the ChessKid channel? Hi, Magnus. In this position, white defeats black. Magnus goes down, starting with knight to g5 check. Now, your only move is to capture, so Magnus did. Then pawn takes is discovered check. Now Magnus could put the bishop in the way, but after the bishop goes in the way, we would take this bishop check, and when the king moves, then we would take this rook as well. In fact, if we take this way, it's going to be a very similar checkmate attempt as in the previous video. So I want to give full credit to Magnus because he recognized he was going to be checkmated beautifully, but he allowed it to happen, which is actually kind of a nice sportsmanly thing to do. He blocks with the knight, and before you go thinking that white's going to play g4 and put pp on the pp, that would not make my video. Oh no. Jan Ludwig throws the hammer down. Rook takes h5. And after Magnus takes back, he throws in a check. And just when it looks like Magnus might survive by playing the move f5, well, we can take this pawn en passant, but only one en passant is actually mate, which is e takes f6. We need this pawn to stay still to guard the h6 square. And yeah, I'm just going to go out and say, if you play en passant mate against the best chess player of all time, you are officially allowed to retire from chess. What a beauty. Okay, my number 1. What could possibly top beating the world champion with en passant mate? Well, that would be this position played many years ago. And the white player played bishop to e3 check. Now, there's only 2 legal moves, and it would have been a little bit boring if the king had moved, because then there would have been a forced mate after bishop d2 check, and when the king moves back, we give a check. We finally get the king on the edge of the board. We play checkmate. Wah, wah, wah. That has nothing to do with en passant. Luckily, if we go back to this position after bishop e3 check, black played the move c5. Now, it's not going to be a mate, but can you think of any other time in chess where you play a move that is double discovered check? It's not even a term in chess, but it kind of has to be after this game. Watch this. D takes c6. which opens up this diagonal, making it a discovered check, and it opens up this diagonal, which makes it a discovered attack. So I need a term, double discovered attack check. I really don't know what to call this, but I am going to call it the best en passant game of all time. I told you today was going to be a fun one, and I hope you can use en passant to devastating effect like these players did.